Morning, seniors. It's Saturday, June 5th. It's graduation day. I just wanted to reach out and wish you a final farewell. And I want to congratulate you. It's exciting to get to this point. I know that there's been a lot of work and effort, some more for some than others, obviously, but it's been a lot of time and effort to get to this point. And it is an important checkpoint. I do think that this is a big transition time in your life. I think that this is something that just kind of marks the end of one phase of your life or chapter and the beginning of another one. And so I want to congratulate you on making it through. Everyone at GBHS is proud of you. I know your teachers worked hard to help you get here. I know your counselors probably played a big role in that. Certainly certainly coaches and your parents, or whoever it is that helped you get through those late nights of studying, or doing your assignments, turning them in probably at the last minute, but to get to the point at the end of this week where you are ready to just walk away from GBHS and say goodbye. Hopefully not forever, but I just wanted to send you off with a congratulations and some final parting wisdom. If you've had me before, you know that I'm keen on giving advice and wisdom, but it's not out of intelligence as much as it is out of experience from things that I've learned throughout my time after I graduated from high school in my 20s and in my 30s. So I don't want you to take this as gospel, but at the same time, there's some advice that I would give you. And the first thing I want to tell you, I mean, there's not really a set amount of things, or 5 points or 10 points. It's not really a structured thing. I'm just, kind of going off the top of my head here. But the first thing I would tell you is that I want you to develop a sense of personal responsibility. When you leave here, everything becomes your responsibility, and that's not to say that you don't have support, but I want you to take responsibility for your own mental well-being. I want you to take responsibility for your success in your career, your job, whatever it may be, your academic work in college. Certainly your personal situation is more of your responsibility than you realize. And some of you might think that that's obvious, but we live in a time and a culture where the narrative is to find somebody to blame, and to see how someone else can fix it. And so I want to encourage you to be accountable, and to take responsibility for your own well-being. Trauma is not a choice. I would never victim blame someone for circumstances in their life. And obviously an environment, and the environment that you come up in, plays a huge role in the circumstances that you are subject to. So trauma is not a choice, but victimhood is a choice, right? So what I want you to understand is we'll start with kind of the unsavory side of things that people don't like to think about on such a happy day like graduation. But there is life trauma that is coming, that will eventually reach you. And it may be a job loss. It may be the loss of a dear friend or a loved one or your parents. Knock on wood, this doesn't happen for a long time, and that you're prepared and equipped to deal with it. But you're going to experience some hard times. There are going to be times when you're financially strapped for cash and you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. There may be times where you have a family member that's sick and they're depending on you. And there's just going to be several things that will cause you stress in your life. And I want you to understand this. You've heard me say this a lot before. But I would definitely want to reiterate this statement that's a favorite piece of advice of mine, and that is, while your circumstances may not be your fault, they are your responsibility. If you take responsibility for your own happiness, your own fulfillment, your own well-being, then you're going to take it upon yourself to make things happen when difficult times arise. And that means you need a support system. It doesn't mean you do everything on your own. It doesn't mean that you go through life by yourself, not depending on anybody else. You definitely need a support system. So this is the stage in your life where you're kind of evaluating who your true friends are. You're going to meet new people at the next level or the next phase of your life, and you need to kind of vet those relationships through the lens of, is this a person that's going to support me long term? Is this a person that I can support long term? Is there depth to this relationship? Is there intimacy there from a deep friendship level? So everything that you hold dear, you need to accept some level of accountability for. Even your relationships, your friendships, certainly your romantic relationships, eventually your marriages, parenting. Those things are things that you need to accept responsibility for. Don't make excuses about the things that happen in your life. Remember, unfair things happen. Trauma happens. It's not fair. It's not a choice. But you can endure. You can overcome. Right? Don't fall into this trap of victimhood where there's this problem systemically that's preventing you from being successful. Because while that might be the case for your circumstances at some point in your life, it's not the case for the solution to those circumstances also. So accept some responsibility. Don't make excuses. Another thing I would like to tell you is develop a work ethic. Some of you are very talented, you're intelligent, you may be good athletes, or whatever the case may be, and you probably haven't had to put in a lot of the work and energy. And many of you have, and so you already know what I'm talking about here. But I want you to understand that in any organization, whether it's a sports team or whether it's a job, there's always room in the organization for somebody who outworks everybody else. It's going to be difficult to replace a genuine work ethic. So don't have a sense of entitlement. There are things that you deserve, but you may not always get them, right? And sometimes with a good work ethic, you'll create opportunities for yourself, and you'll get opportunities that maybe you don't deserve or someone else deserves more. But develop a work ethic. There's nothing in life that's worth having that doesn't require hard work and dedication. That's true of school. That's true of relationships, right? Don't look for the thing that's going to keep you content and happy and fulfilled without any work or effort, because that's a scheme. It's not real. Eventually, the shine is going to wear off of that, right? There's no get-rich-quick schemes. There are no get-happy-quick schemes. All of those things require work and effort. So take responsibility for those aspects of your life. Develop a genuine work ethic, right? Study the humanities. I know a lot of you might be studying science, technology, math. You might be going into some of these other, right-brained fields, if you will. But leave room for humanity. Study philosophy. Read philosophers. I'm going to put a link to books that you should read below. It's going to be in the link below, so you can check out some books. I'm often asked, what are some things that we should make sure we read? Somebody asked me before the summer. I would say this. I would make this challenge. The books that are in the link below, you should try to read those before you graduate from college, which is a very easy goal to achieve. And there's tens of more titles that I could name just off the top of my head, but hundreds more that you should read. But I'm going to put a list of essentials in the links below. So take responsibility for yourself. Don't make excuses. Be accountable to yourself, your own happiness, your future, your well-being. Be accountable to other people. Develop a genuine work ethic. Partner well with people who care about you and care about your future, people who can encourage you, and people who genuinely want the best for you, right? And understand that all things come in time, right? The next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, they may not be the most exciting, or at times they're going to be exciting and sometimes they're going to be boring, but if you continue on this path, if you take care of yourself, if you self-actualize, if you take responsibility for those things in your life that matter, and you pay your dues, you will legitimately gain the fulfillment that comes from a life well lived. And that's the last piece of advice that I want to give you. Don't make happiness your pursuit. Don't chase happiness in your life. It's not that you don't want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy, but happiness is a byproduct of a fulfilling life. So I want you to chase what's meaningful. Chase what has purpose to it. Your job, your career, they shouldn't make you happy every single day, because that's just not realistic. But they can have meaning. They can have value. They can be something that gets you up in the morning and gets you to work. So at the end of a hard day or a hard week or very difficult times, you can look back and realize that what you're doing is meaningful and has value. So if you develop a purpose in your life, a philosophy or an ethos for your life, and you pursue that, and you shape everything else in your life around that, and you continue to work hard and accept responsibility for that, then you're going to see results. You're going to see success. Remember that everyone at Gulf Breeze High is not only proud of you, but they love to keep up with what you're doing. We don't always, as teachers, get to see the byproduct of what happens with our students when we leave So don't feel like that because you're leaving Gulf Breeze High that this is the last time you're going to see everybody in your senior class or the people at the school. And keep in touch. Reach out to your teachers. Reach out to your coaches. You know, tell people who had an impact in your life how they had an impact in your life. It's way more meaningful than you realize. And through all the challenges of the last 4 years, whether the discipline issues or the dress code violations or the tardies or the missed classes or the, butting heads with your teachers, at the end of it, you came out and you succeeded and you got through. And I think people want to celebrate with you. They want to join in that. So don't be a stranger. Remember where you came from. Have some humility, but continue that work ethic. Continue to strive. Reach for the loftiest goals that you can find. As long as you derive purpose and meaning in what you're doing and you have a work ethic to complete it, there's no limit to what you can achieve. And I mean, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So go forth and do. Don't be afraid of a challenge. Do not accept failure. Failure is not a character flaw. Failure is just a failed attempt. There can't be progress or growth unless you fail several times. So embrace failure as part of the process for success. And we wish you the best of luck. I can certainly speak for myself that I'm going to miss you. This is a good class of seniors in 2021. I've really kind of gotten to know a lot of you, whether last year in your junior year or this year in your senior year. Certainly last year was the weirdest year on record, and it was cut short. And so it's bittersweet to see you go. I'm really excited for you, but at the same time, I'm going to be sad to see you go. We're going to miss you, but we wish you the best of luck. We're nothing but excited for you for what you're going to do at the next level. You can always reach out. You can always send an email. And of course, come back to the school and visit from time to time. Congratulations, class of 2021. We wish you nothing but the best.